Hey everybody, welcome to Fabric Friday. I'm Jeff with GIS Chops. It's nice to have you here. Um, I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm going to do a subdivision in ArcMap and showing you how I liked that interface better, how you can do the lots with points instead of clicking a start point and clicking an end point, stuff like that. So I thought I would do that. But before we get going, I'm going to put this up here. If you want to follow along with the curves, I'm going to put this curve table up while I talk about some stuff. So if you're watching live, thanks for being here. I appreciate you joining me. If you're watching the recording, you may want to join live because uh, this way you don't have to watch ads and I can answer any questions you have in the chat, and then and we can be more interactive if you have any questions. Also, I may give you updates on what's going on and how, like when I'm going to be next streaming. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so and hit the bell so you get notified of when I go live or when I upload a video. And that way you can stay current on everything that I'm doing. I've kind of focused more on parcel stuff because that's my favorite part of work. I like to do parcel data, and it's fun, and I could do it all day. If I could do parcel data all day, the day goes so much faster. So here's the curve table. I'm going to do a subdivision that's in, well, my mic is way over here, and now it's in the shot. I'm going to do a subdivision that's in, it's in Weber County, Utah. It's one I've done on a previous video, on a uploaded video that I just entered the subdivision, then voiced over about what I was doing as I did it. But I'm going to do this one in ArcMap. I was going to get a stopwatch up. So I figured I was going to time it to see which one is faster. I hope I get to do both of them today. So shout out any questions you have. So the reason I've focused on parcel work is I'm trying to help people that maybe are new to parcel data entry and getting them up to speed on how they can enter a subdivision quickly or in legal description quickly and get things going and maybe lessen the confusion and fear a little. I started out, I taught myself how to do parcel data. Started out as the first GIS guy my county hired. Found out I was supposed to create the parcel layer and had no clue what I was doing. So I kind of had to learn as I went and got pretty good at it and got to really enjoy the work. So we're going to do this subdivision. If you want to get a screen grab of this curve table so you can follow along, I'm going to have it on my other screen so it doesn't block the map. We're going to start out in ArcMap, except I need that on the other screen. So I've done the subdivision boundary already. I don't think you need to see me do the boundary, but I'm going to divide this subdivision up into its lots, and just to show you how much better that system is. So I'm going to start the timer. And the first thing I do is I right-click the subdivision and I say construct from parent. So that gives me this window here, and I'm going to be creating lots. So I have that template selected in this box here. To start out, I'm going to be splitting up these lines. So I zoom into this line and I right-click and I say break line. And depending on which side you click it on, I think that will fill in the from and to points. So it's 80 feet. And this line, I learned in that video I did before, this line is off by 0.13 feet. So this line, these labels are different than the total line length. So I'm just going to proportion with the remaining distance and spread the error between the two lines. Now I right click this one, break line. One thing I don't like about ArcMap is you can't pan the map when you're breaking the lines. This window has the focus and you can't get off it. So 110 plus 60 is 190 or 170 minus, or 195 minus 170 is 25. So that last line is 25. I should pan up a little so I can see both. That's another thing, is the window comes up where you don't want it. So it has a 0.01 difference. You'd think where it had focus, you could just click and move it. So that one came out with 0. Do you guys find that surveys lately have a 0.01 or 0.02 difference when you're entering these lines? I think the drafters just allow it to. So when it goes off the screen, I can't pan the map, so I just have to say okay. Oh, accepted distributed the error. So I'm going to get it so I can see all the distances and make sure it's going the right direction. I can't really tell because the symbology isn't showing in the middle. And I think that is it. So now I'm going to do this right of way, but I don't want to start on a curve because it's too much work to enter a chord bearing. So in here, I can put in the from point. I can say I want to start at 0.7, hit enter twice. Now that road center line is the bearing of that lot line as well. And it's 50. Now I'm starting on the curves. You can't see what I just did, but kind of made the stopwatch maximized. Curve 9 is 20 feet to the right, so I enter 0 in the distance to get to the radius. It's 20-foot curve to the right, and the delta is 28.0421. Now these, I've noticed these are tricky. Curve 10 is sneaking in there. Curve 10 is the other curve to the left. It's 65 feet. And it's tiny, and it's going to be highlighted. In ArcMap, they highlighted very small lines. Oh, I forgot. I was going to point my camera down on my keyboard so you could see what I'm doing on the keyboard when I really get into it. So it's highlighted yellow because it's short. Now I can hit enter a bunch of times. Curve 11 is 47.0635. Curve 12 is 39.1457. 13 is 59.12. Now curve 14 is the opposite direction. Whoops, it's curved to the right, not to the left. And it messed up my tangent bearing. So now it messed up my outgoing bearing too because I entered the radius wrong. So I'm going to have to put in that that bearing. Usually I could just hit enter because it puts the right one. Curve 15 to the right is 20, 89, 59, 55. See here, the outgoing bearing is probably going to be correct. 89, 20, 54. Yep. To the northwest, 55, 19.99. Curve 16, 20 to the right, 28.0421. Curve 17 is to the left, 65 feet, 28.0446. Curve 18. See, I'm just hitting enter as I go through those because it's all the same information. You could be a lot quicker that way. Curve 19. And then curve 20. Now, when I enter this last one, it automatically filled in 13 there as the 2 point because it was within the tolerance. So now I'm going to start a new line, and I'm going to enter 0.8 this time. We have a tangent curve to the left, curve 8. It's 20 feet, 89, 59, 55. That time I got the correct outgoing bearing. And that's another thing is ArcMap gets it right when you use the delta, but ArcGIS Pro will be off by 1 second sometimes. It's like a 50-50 shot. Curve 7's to the left, 20 feet, 28.0421. There's another one of those sneaky little curves. You got to watch for those little annotations. There wasn't enough room to label it on it. We're going to get the yellow highlight again. So curve 6 is 65 feet to the right, 0.3459. Sorry, just checking some stuff. I'm trying to move things so I can see the chat if there's any questions. So now I'm going to keep with the tangent curve, same radius, so I just hit enter through that. Curve 5 is 54, 58, 22. Curve 4 is 24, 38, 19. Curve 3 is 65, 56, 57. And then we're curve 2, that goes the other way, 20 degrees, 28.0421. So that gives me 89, 20, 54, which is the outgoing bearing, 74.99 feet. Curve 1 is to the left, 20 feet and 90 degrees. And notice this little line here, you got to look for those little things because they'll get you too. So the bearing is that center line bearing, 3906 to the southwest, 3.18 feet. So it closed on 0.12. So that's my right of way, and it has all the points for the individual lots. Now here's where the time saving happens is I try to get as much in the window that I can so that I can just stay on the entry grid and the key numbers or the number keys. So I'm going to start with 0.15 over here on the left, and I change this template to be just the standard boundary because ArcMap would adjust right-of-ways differently than regular boundaries when it did its adjustment. So that's what I learned to do, so that's why I do it. 89.2054 southeast, 98.36, 34.3409 southeast, 34.04. Filled in 49 there, and then what I do is I go down arrow, left arrow, left arrow, left arrow, or I down arrow and then home will get me there. So now I'm in a place where I can enter another point, And this line I did not break up right because I didn't pay attention to my, that's probably going to slow me down. What did I just, so I don't know if I can merge those. I forgot which tool I used to select them. Dang it. So I'm going to do something different. This is what I would do if I didn't have the distances on that. I'm going to start at point 47. So that was my bad. And then I'm going to overshoot it by 5 feet. And then I select those two lines. Except where do I, right there, okay. I'm gonna select these two lines and then do the planarize. Delete that one. And I think I can merge these. No. I don't remember how to merge things, so I just don't want to waste time with that. I'll just show you how I deal with screw ups like that. So now I'm going to come down and do the next screw up line, 0.45, 110. Select these two, planarize, select this one, and delete it. So I haven't been doing it in ArcMap for a long time, so I'm out of the habit of how I do things. And then I would merge these, or I would fix it before I even put them in. Now I'm going to do this line here from point 4. It's 60 minus 25 is 35. And then 75. That is a perk of Pro, is you could put in that math in the box and it would. So here I'd go down and home to get to the next number. 58, 13, 10 southeast, 127.75 down home. See, it's all down home. And then I need to put in 19. 20. Got to move it over one. So I'm out of practice. So that closed to 0.27. So I do have to click around once in a while. So we're going to do 0.55, enter twice. That's where I screwed up before. 0.59. Oh, I should have showed you something right there. I didn't have to enter that bearing because they're parallel. That's another perk to ArcMap. Watch on this line. I can just hit enter 3 times. I get the right, if it's a parallel to the previous line, then it will just keep it in there, which is nice. 63. So it really pays to get good on the number keys. So that's all the lot lines. So now what I do is I hit build and keep all current. Looks like I missed one here. I think it's probably because I deleted a line or something. Lot lines. Not subs. Oh, let me stop the timer since I'm technically. So that took me 16 minutes and 11 seconds, 12 seconds. And if I would have done this, split this line up better, it would have shown, or would have created that lot there. So I don't know why I probably inadvertently deleted one of the lot lines there. So I would have to fix that. But I mean, 16 minutes, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lots and a right of way plus an open space parcel. So, I mean, when I had a contract with a local government to do some parcel work for them, I bid $5 per parcel. And so 13, what is that? Somebody do the math on that. 13 times 5 is $65. And took me only 16 minutes. So that's pretty good. That was pretty good, a pretty good rate for me. So that's why I like ArcMap. It's easier to enter a subdivision this way, and if Amir, if you're watching, or maybe I'll email this video to you, but this is what I would like, is that mode switch to say, hey, I'm doing lots in a subdivision, and it allows me to put those points in the grid instead of clicking the start point, clicking the end point. And then every time I do a line, I have to click, click, click. It's a pain in the butt, and I can do this in 16 minutes in ArcMap. And I did screw up that one, but that's because I'm out of practice in ArcMap. So here we go with Pro. Got the same subdivision. I don't have the plat up though. I don't remember where it is. So, oh, last week, if you tuned in last week, I couldn't do it because, let's see if we can copy between ArcMap and Pro. Let's see if it lets me. Nope. So I'm gonna have to add it. So last week, I was gonna do this same video, but when I would zoom in, it would take forever to draw. When I zoomed in beyond 300, it took forever to draw. And okay. Let's see. Just finding that image, sorry. So what happened was, it was the base map, the Esri imagery base map. It was causing me problems when I was trying to zoom in. I'm not sure why, but it did. So once I took out the base map, I was good. Let's see. Trying to find that file, sorry. I can't talk and find files at the same time. It's called Last Try because I kept trying. And that's not the right. Let me remove it from this map. And drag it onto this one. So here's again, Again, that was ArcMap. Okay, last try for last try. Okay, Pro takes a little longer to add things than ArcMap also. Okay, here we are. We're at the same stage. I'm going to reset my stopwatch, start it up again. And then this way I copy lines to, oh. So I don't know why I can't, so subdivisions is editable. If I got something going on, nope. Got subdivision selectable. Wonder why copy this. Oh, this is another perk of ArcGIS Pro. It tells you this command is currently unavailable. Oh, active mapper. Here's why. So now I've got an active record. Okay. I'm going to reset this and start it again. So I'm copying lines to lots. Now I'm going to make lot lines selectable. But look how I lost my imagery. And you have to come here and say no stretch type. And then it will draw it. I don't know why it does that. But now we will go through and I have lot lines selectable. So I tried to reuse my old map and maybe that's why I'm having trouble. I'm going to hope this is educational for everybody to watch me screw up. I'm just going to start a new map. I'm going to close this one. And now, so you get to see all my layers that I've done for all my videos. So my parcel fabric is in here. Going to add to current map. So maybe now I can need my imagery or my now lot lines are going to be the only thing selectable. There. So yeah, I think it's because I tried recycling that old map and it had different layers in there and messed it up. Because you can only have one parcel fabric in a map. And I think I added other layers from that parcel fabric alone. Okay, so now I'm going to restart my timer. And I'm going to divide And this you can move around, so it's much better. I'm going to actually, I didn't think about this, but I'm going to have a ground to grid problem. So I'm going to just do the ground to grid on that line. So I'm just giving the bearing and distance for this line, digitizing it, and then it should match when I entered it. So again, I'm going to reset and divide this line finally. 110 and 60 and 25. And here I'll have the advantage of just doing that subdivision. So I'm actually going to be faster than I usually would in Pro. 149.52. And I didn't distribute error on the last one. We'll live with that. And this is the trouble, is I don't want things labeled because they get in the way. So I got 104.16, 90.84, and 60. And I click that, I do this little trick to clear out the previous entries. And that one I'm doing 63 times. And divide, that's another, I think you could do that in ArcMap, but I don't remember. And again, here's the line that's labeled incorrectly. So even though it's off by 0.13 feet, I just leave it because that's what's on the plat. What do you guys do in those situations? Do you leave it as labeled or do you fix it? Okay, that's the last one. So now I'm going to start a traverse. We'll start up here, and Pro, we don't have all the see, I have to click my closing point. We don't all have the right-of-way line template, but I am going to change this to lot lines. I need to get my curves up again. And that's a 20. Whoa. So okay. It'll fix that extended out because it thinks it's 50 feet. I'm going to hit 0 and now enter my curve parameter, curve 9. Do you want to see my hand again? I'll point down at my, let me make sure it's okay. Oh, that screws everything up. So I can't change the parameter type in the middle of a traverse. So I'm just gonna delete these and start over. Yeah, I'm having a rough day today. So I do have lot lines. Not 130, 50. Curve 9 is 20 to the right, 28.0421. Curve 10. I don't like that, how it shortens the bearing. See, I'm screwing up all over the place. I never changed the parameter. I'm just gonna start. Do you guys screw up this often? delta. There. Should be really good at entering this line. Almost had that delta memorized. Curve 10, it's 65 to the left. See here, we don't get that highlight of a short line. Curve 11 is 4706.35. 12. 13. 14 is 20 to the right. And then 3911, it got it right this time. We'll see if it does next time. Curve 15 is to the right. It's 20. Let's see, 89, 20, 54. Got it right. Maybe this subdivision is just really good. Curve 16 to the right. It's 20 foot radius. Curve 17 to the left is 65 foot radius. Curve 18. 35, 12, 50, curve 19, 17, 55, 13. And if you're joining me late, I put all these curve parameters up at front so you could take a screen grab. So that's another reason you should show up on time. Curve 20 is 48, 34, 47. And so I didn't set the closing, so I'm going to have to zoom in and click on that point right there, and then it automatically closed it with a 0.01 closure error. So now I have to go through, I hit new, click start. I'm going to come down here. Entering all these start and close points. .05 closure error. That's because that line is mislabeled, I'm sure. That one closes with 0. Zero. And I know that you can't see these lot lines very well because adding them to the map made my heavy symbolization go away. Maybe I'll just click that real quick. Okay. Now you can see them better. So 60 minus 25. This is a benefit of Pro. You don't have to do the math in your head or on a calculator. You can just enter the math in the grid and it does it for you. Only one operation though. You can't do multiple minuses. I missed that. If you stick around to the end, I'll show you another little tip that I learned this week in regular editing, not parcel editing, but I think it's new. I haven't noticed it before. Maybe you guys already know about it. Did I not divide that line? See, it's easier to fix stuff here because I know how to do it. And it won't take me forever. So I forgot to hit divide on that when I went through the first time. So that's 0.67. Oh, I know why. Do you see why? I hit the wrong, that short little line. I don't remember if I did that in the ArcMap one or not. So I can just change the start point and it will fix it for me. So now it's 0.01 closure error. Oh, I didn't do this other side. Curve 8 is 20 to the left and 28.0421. That's not right. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, it's not 280421. I was reading the wrong line. It's 89, 59, 55. Come on, Jeff. And that's the correct bearing going out. Curve 7 is 20 to the left. That's 280421. Curve 6 is one of those little ones. To the right, 65. Curve 5 is curve 4 is 243819. And then curve 3 and then got lucky on all these outgoing bearings. Curve 1 is 90, nope, negative 20 at 90 degrees. 0.3906, 3.18 feet. Now I can come through here and do the inside lot lines. Maybe I need to up my snapping tolerance. See, and before in ArcMap, I could just hit enter and not have to enter that same bearing every time. I guess I could copy it. If I'm being super efficient. So here's my last lot line. And I want to create seeds and then build. Oh, I'm faster. Look at that. I think even with all that screwing up, I think uh, so. I guess my point is kind of moot, but I still like that method better. I still I hate clicking start point and the end point. I would rather. I mean that home down arrow and then home was a little easier. I didn't have to leave the number keys. I mean, you saw me click a couple times on the wrong spot. So, I mean, Pro had the advantage where I just entered that same subdivision, and there was that section that I screwed up that I kind of talked about for a little while. So maybe I'm just as fast with both, but so inconclusive, I guess. But Amir, if you're watching, I still would like that mode switch to say I'm entering lots in a subdivision, then I can enter points instead of click, 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 click. Because I hate going off the numbers and the entry grid. So that's, I thought I would be much faster in ArcMap. So guess I am defeated there. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think? Did you ever enter in the ArcMap entry grid and like it better? I just think I would be faster if I could just stay on the number keys instead of all the clicking, because it's frustrating. Anybody have any questions? Again, if you're here at the beginning, I show the curve data and the boundary, the legal description of the subdivision boundary at the first. So try to be here on time when I start streaming, and then you can get those screen grabs. I use the snip and sketch tool with Microsoft. I don't know what you guys use, but it's snip and sketch tool. So it's this one. So have this tool ready. You can just hit new and then grab a part of your screen. I use that all the time. Sometimes I use that for, there are multiple tables, like line tables and curve tables on a plat. I'll do screen grabs of line tables and curve tables, have them open on my other screen so that I don't have to pan the PDF around. I can just look at those screen grabs. So do you have any questions? If anybody would like to help me out, I'm doing interviews for people that are working in parcel data, trying to find out what you're struggling with so that I can target my content based on those things. If you want to do an interview with me, shoot me an email at gischops@thegmail.com. I plan to have a mailing list. I didn't have it set up for this one, but just shoot me an email and we'll set up a time where we can get on a Zoom call and I can talk to you and you can ask me whatever questions you want. And then we can get to know each other and both benefit from it. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you found that entertaining, if anything, me screwing up all my edits. And so it's inconclusive. ArcMap in my head was better, but I guess I'm just as fast in Pro. So I would have made more money with Pro. 2 minutes less time. Well, I guess I'll end it now. If let's see. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that username. Learn with me video, great format. Well, I'm glad my screw ups were helpful. And then DCI Leo Dan says he's been subbed for a while. He mentioned that my other videos with Pro has helped transition from 10 to ArcMap to Pro appreciate you throwing something in the chat. Do you guys ever have anything that you see me do that you do differently that you think is a better method? Let me know, because I don't think I have a monopoly on efficiency or speed. Let me know what you guys do. If you have a better way of setting up a subdivision or cutting up a subdivision, let me know. Well, I guess I'll stop the stream and we'll see you next time. I do believe I'll be doing a stream next week, but it'll be at noon next week. So sorry for the time change this week. We're going to go up to Boise to see a concert. I think it's the home team and Arrows in Action. I don't know if you guys have heard of Arrows in Action. They're kind of a new up and coming band. They're pretty good. So we'll talk to you next week.